God morning. I'm so excited to bring you this video. We've been waiting now for quite a while for this message. We're going to open back up for in-person worship. The worship gathering will be much smaller, at least at the start, until phase 3 is imposed for the state of Florida. You'll also notice that we've put in a number of procedures in place to help facilitate your safety and protect your well-being if you so choose to attend in-person worship. If you are not feeling well, exhibit any signs of illness, have been exposed to someone with COVID-19, have traveled abroad in the last 2 weeks, or have come in contact with someone, or in a care facility, or a restricted domestic location, or you've tested positive for the virus, please stay home. If you're over the age of 65 or have underlying health conditions, please consider your health risks until we move into that phase 3 that the state of Florida guidelines recommends, because they recommend not going places. You'll have your temperature taken when you walk in before entry into the fellowship hall, which, by the way, will be the only entrance into worship. Now, one of the things, you must wear a face mask properly, covering your nose and your mouth at all times while on the campus, whether outside or inside. You must also maintain at least 6 feet of spacing, in other words, social distance from each other, indoors and outdoors. We'll have these spaces marked to help you along. We're limited to only 43 worshipers, so we are going to require reservations for worship, and we ask that you arrive at least 30 minutes prior to your reserved worship service. We'll begin with one worship service at 10:30 until we exceed our capacity, and then we will be looking to add services accordingly. If we go to a second and third service, the times of those services will be announced at a later time. We'll be streaming our services live as normal through our social media platforms. Friends, for reservations, please call the office at 386-752-0670 on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and a volunteer will book your reservation. Now that you've made your reservations and are coming to in-person worship, there will be some different experiences. Along each step of the way, an elder usher will direct and assist you to lead you to the sanctuary for worship. You'll notice from the drive into the parking lot that we will funnel all foot traffic toward the handicap parking side of the fellowship hall. We'll only be entering and exiting by the double door on that side of the fellowship hall. Notice that as you approach the entrance area, there are chairs placed at 6-foot spacing that will help promote social distancing all the way through to the worship experience. The first thing we want you to remember is to put on your mask. We're requiring masks to be worn on the campus for the entire time you are on the campus. As you get ready to enter the fellowship hall, you will be asked some questions about how you feel and any exposure that you might have. You'll also have your temperature taken, touchless, of course. Please note, you may also get a sense of aroma that carries the sanitizing agent that we've been using in the fellowship hall and the sanctuary. We will do this before and after the worship service, and if there's any use of the hall or sanctuary throughout the week. As you enter fellowship hall, you'll notice all the chairs set up in columns. Each chair is set at a 6-foot increment, and there are pedestals just at the sanctuary entrance where the folding doors are with sanitizer for you to use. An usher or elder will greet you and direct you to the seats from back to front of the sanctuary. The restrooms to be utilized are located in the choir room hallway. The door is propped open to let you know it's safe to enter the facility. Close the door, and when finished, after you've washed your hands, please prop the door back open again for the next person. Remember, we only have capacity for 43 worshipers, so you make your reservations, please. Now that you're ready to enter the sanctuary, the usher will escort or direct you to the next available seat. Notice that there are no bulletins, hymnals, Bibles, envelopes of any other kinds, or any other thing that's in the pew. You'll notice also that you will be socially distanced at least 6 feet from the next person or family unit. Feel free to speak amongst each other, but please, there should be no personal contact, and you need to remain at least 6 feet away from each other, and your mask should remain over your nose and mouth at all times. As we begin to worship, the forward screens will have all the prayers, hymns, confessions, and service on them. You'll notice that we've changed the worship content and that there is the same number of music pieces, but just not hymns. There's only one hymn to be hummed because there is no singing. As the very last hymn we will sing, we hope that there can be some special music or special singing or instrumentalists in the future. We'll have an offering box in the fellowship hall at the folding doors for you to drop your offering into. We hope that you take advantage of the online or electronic giving that we offer, and we do appreciate your giving up to this point, because without your giving, we would have had to diminish our services and our service to the community and to y'all. So, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your continued support and giving. When the worship service is over, you'll be dismissed in a fashion similar to a wedding, except it will be column by column instead of row by row. We'll ask that you exit directly to the parking lot and then to your car. Once everyone is out of the sanctuary, we'll begin sanitation fogging for the next worship service. We will also do the same thing for Fellowship Hall. So once the building is clear, the entire facility will be sanitized. We look forward to worshiping together again and appreciate your patience with us as we transition to the new normal. We are excited and yet cautious, knowing there are better days ahead for us, for you and I, and yet we are thrilled to see some of the familiar faces in a familiar space with an ever-present God who loves us unconditionally.